Hi, welcome to Bible Club. Today we're going to continue with the week of creation, day 4, where the sun, the moon, and the stars are created. Just like you see there, we're still using the worksheet for kids. And I decided to redo this video because I forgot to mention some important information on the last video. So I'm going to redo this and put that good information out there. So we're going to continue with verse 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." Okay, so the word signs here means a symbol in the heavens, a sign in the heavens. For example, an eclipse, a blood moon, a star, a comet in the heavens. All these pertain to prophecies or omens. That's why it mentions signs. It's a sign. So two good examples of this is the birth of Christ and the sign in the sky that day or that night. And also in the book of Revelation, it talks about a couple signs in heaven. So those are some examples of what that means. Okay, so let's continue. Let's see here. And oh, and I forgot to mention the seasons and for days and for years. Okay, so the word seasons, for days and for years, that basically means that the two great lights that were created are for basically a calendar or a chronological calendar, which is where we get our days, our weeks, and and everything else that has to do with our calendar. All right. Okay. Let me see here. Continue. Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night, and he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Okay. Verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heaven. Okay, so on verse 20 it says, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life. Okay, so now we're going to the creation of fishes. We're on day 5 now, the creation of fishes. And there's something important about this section here, because on that verse that we just read, the creation of fishes, there's something called, in science, is called the Cambrian Explosion. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So the Cambrian Explosion, it's something that occurred, just like you see there on the screen, around 500 million years ago. And I'm going to read to you Okay, just like you see there. Okay, so I'm going to read the last part on the quoted part where it says Cambrian Explosion. It says an evolutionary burst of animals an evolutionary burst of animals origins dating from 545 to 525 million years ago. So that right there, an evolutionary burst of animals, they're talking about marine animals. So I'm going to show you the quick Wikipedia. And let me exit out of here. Okay, there you go. All right. So this is Wikipedia. And okay, so this period here, and I'll show you the graph on the timeline, which is very interesting also. So the Cambrian explosion basically explains exactly what we just read in the Bible during the period of creation of fishes, or better yet known as the marine animals. Okay, so in science there is evidence, and they call it the Cambrian explosion, because during the 500 million years period, they had a burst of marine animals that occurred. And there's also a lot of fossil record. There's a lot of fossil record that backs up that evidence. And I've seen some of those fossil records, and they're very interesting because a lot of those, for example, fishes during that 500 million period in time, they came before the dinosaurs. So they're basically exactly what the Bible says as the first creation of any type of animal. In this case, the marine animals. And in the fossil records, some of the oldest, I think it is the oldest record that we have is marine life fossil record. And so that is something that gives evidence for the Bible, and it contradicts a lot of what evolutionary theory teaches, in my opinion. So now the timeline, so I'm going to show you over there better. So the timeline, so you can understand a little bit more. Let me zoom in, or zoom. Okay, so I think you can see that. Okay, so the timeline right there that you see there, it starts around 500, right there, 500 million years ago. And if you see right there, that green part, that's the plants that were created first. And if you see to the right of that, it says Cambrian Explosion. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the little arrow there. Okay, so if you notice there, it's if you look to the left, the plants were created first, and somewhere in between the plants were created first, just like the Bible said, and after that we have creation of the marine life called the Cambrian Explosion. Okay. And if you look at the timeline, right after the Cambrian explosion, you have the dinosaurs, and later on you have other creatures that were created, which is actually an error here, because the Bible is Well, we're going to find out right now that right after the marine life is created, we go into the birds. And according to this timeline here, the birds and the mammals, the primate mammals, are created about the same time, or in this case, they're not called created. They're called evolution. So once again, just wanted to mention that in the Bible, it does mention this phenomenon called the Cambrian Explosion, which resulted in a large amount of marine animals. All these different types of creatures of marine life all started at the same time. So very similar to the Big Bang theory. All right. Thank you for watching.